Hello, this is Jess. This is chat session number 159. It's Sunday, April 8th, 2018, about 8:30 p.m. I go into work at 10, and it's my long shift, I guess, so to say. I work 10 to 6, and then I got to be at my regular job 7 to probably 4 or 5, so it'll be a long day, but it's only on the weekend, so it's not so bad. It's just one of those things you got to do to stay ahead, I guess, these days. Economics. We're going to go right into the tidbits of history. We're going to go to 1974 on this day. Hank Aaron set the new home run record in baseball, beating Babe Ruth's record of 714 with his 715th home run. He had a long career. He played until 76 when he retired, but he played for a long time for I guess he was on the Atlanta Braves. When he broke the record, and he was, of course, he was a black guy, and they didn't have a whole lot of black people playing in baseball at that time, and he got a lot of death threats and different things. Excuse me, normal stupid bullshit that other people put the other people through because they have a problem with how they look or whatever. I don't know, but he persevered, and he was one of the baseball greats. So whatever the case may be, that happened, and that's done, and it was a great achievement for somebody to do. They said Babe Ruth's home run record would stand a long time, and it did, but it was beaten, and Hank Aaron's the one who did it. So that's the history for today. A lot of stuff going on politically, but I have learned. I've seen a few things that are they don't make a lot of sense to me, but they're in the scheme of information. I think they make a lot of sense. These satellite providers, you pay a certain amount of money, you get a package, and it's the cheap price, and they have only MSNBC as the main network for news. They don't have CNN, they don't have Fox, they don't have, unless you pay. Now if you pay more and you get the full package, you get that other news. And I think that's a major way to divide the thinking of the ones who have money and can afford the full package. They get the news channels besides just one view. And MSNBC may be left, Fox may be right, CNN, I don't know what they are, a little bit of everything. But if you look at that, and if you only have access to a certain amount of information, you limit your beliefs on what's going on. Science proves that. You hear certain things enough, a certain view enough, you become that view. You represent that view in your mind. So I just look at things maybe a little bit deeper than I should, but I think that's a major concern, to allow the people who can't afford the full package, financial. They just want some cable TV. They're limited to the kind of news that satellite provider wants to provide for that package. And I think it's a ploy to divide. So when you have that division, and somebody says something and it's not what you've been getting off your media input that you have, you're only going by what you hear and what you watch on your package or whatever, your media. And the people that have access to more or to another style, another kind that associates money, you get the division. And that's where the economic breakdown comes from. One view for the poor, one view for the rich. Maybe not be that simple, but that's how I see it breaking down to the ultimate end, is that as in all of history, the men who had more money had more opportunities to explore things and to see things and to do things. But now we don't have to explore anymore because it's brought to us right here in our living room, in our cell phones, different things. And so it's a different way to cause this division. It's just my opinion. I mean, maybe I'm a whack job. I don't know. I just see, because I'm not plugged into a routine of what my mind is capable of. I seek out things when it's not presented to me. I ask why. Maybe I ask too many questions. Been told that. But maybe I ask questions because I want to know what I don't know, and I look for information that way. So maybe that's an insight on me. Maybe I shouldn't ask so many questions. I should just somehow accept what's presented to me, and that's the way things are. And I can't do it. I tried. I guess I have tried. It's pretty boring. I think that we should all strive to reach conclusions by having the full picture instead of just a partial view of what life is. If I don't understand something, and I'm not shy, I ask, why don't I have access to that? Or why is it only being told to these people and not to everyone? Selective information is a danger to me. I shouldn't be told that I can't have access to things that other people have access to simply on the basis of economics. Just again, my opinion. I don't even know how to classify what I believe on that, but I think that one side gets a view of the government, and then the other side gets a view of the government, and these battle lines are drawn, and that's where the divisiveness and the actual hatred that comes from. And it's not just here, it's around the world. The Russia, China, North Korea, they own their broadcast networks. It's the government, so they are only shown what the government wants them to see, but it's not restricted by economics. It's forced on everyone. And then, of course, the people in there make up their mind on what they see, what they believe, and try to figure out other things. Some people take what they get and go through the motions if that's the way it is. But America was founded on the people that were being persecuted for whatever reasons, be it religious or economics or non-opportunity as a citizen. America was founded on those people that came here for a better life. And the pursuit of happiness was a right. And through it all, through the years of compiling and gathering information and putting it together, there seems to be a new way that people think America is, or that it was, and this is where what it's come to. You know, generally, my age group of people, my parents were here already, but their parents weren't, possibly, and for sure, those grandparents weren't. Their parents were immigrants. They came to this country from other places to seek out a better life. And freedom is a dangerous word, because somebody has to set limits on what freedom is. And unfortunately, if it's not a view that you agree with, then your freedom is being taken away. And you either accept it or you suffer the consequences of whatever the power says that damage to you should be for thinking the way you think and doing the things that you say should be freedom. Freedom has a price, and it's not about soldiers on a field dying in battle. It's about being able to live your life with the ideals that you feel you should be able to. And that's a dangerous thing to most people, because everybody wants to have rules and limits and regulations and stuff that makes it better for humanity as a whole. So freedom has to be compromised. Freedom has to be tested. Because when you look at your life, how free are you? You have times to be places. You have bills that have to be paid. You have all these factors in life. And unfortunately, we get caught up in the emotional thing of judgment and how people view, and it impairs and tears down that freedom that each individual should have. And I guess they try to take away the individuality. And this is a long, drawn-out subject, and I could go on for probably days about it, because there's no clear right way to be when you talk about freedom. It's to each individual's view of what freedom is. Now, I think freedom stops, again, as a control, but I think freedom stops when you start instilling violence on other people because you think that's what you should do because you're free. I think that's a mute point. You're using freedom to be aggressive towards others, and that's imposing on their freedom. And who made you the person to inflict your violence on them? You're taking away the freedom of theirs by thinking you have the right to do that because you're free. It's a very complex issue, and there are no right answers. And sometimes you have to go with the collective of what the right thing is, and then other times you have to go against the collective because it goes against what your core belief may be. It's a very touchy subject. People think they know what freedom is, but most people really don't have a clue, because we're so tied into a system that takes away our freedom every day. And even the richest person doesn't have freedom, because they have to know how to control that money and to put it to a use somehow. I mean, there's always, from the top, the pressures are different than on the bottom, of course, because on the bottom it's about being able to survive. On the top, it's more like being able to stay in that position of having all that wealth and stuff. So there's different levels of freedom, but there are basic rights. And I think that this hatred and this turmoil that's enveloping worldwide is a danger to humanity. But that's all. I gotta get ready to go to work here. Like I said, it was 8:30 when I started, so I'm gonna have to start thinking about work. I really like making these tapes, or making these videos, or I wouldn't do it. Sometimes it's challenging to get, to do it when, especially now that I'm working 2 jobs, and I've only worked 1 day, so it's not like I've worked a lot. But I'm going to feel these as the time goes on, and I get into a flow of working and trying to do this, and also expand into my next evolution of what I want to do, which I keep hinting at, but I'm not saying anything concrete because I want it to be in mode before it's talked about too much. This is Jess. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? The chat session number 159. Have a great Sunday evening.